So for today, I'm going to be reading stanza number 10, abiding in absence, conceit humbles, residing in wisdom, quiet confidence. This is a great stanza, actually, one of my favorite stanzas in the book. And it starts off with the abiding in absence. And for me, the framing of the source of the universe, what we call the absolute in Zen, has two functions, the manifest and unmanifest. The unmanifest is where we would make contact with what I call absence, what traditionally is called emptiness in Buddhism. But it's an emptiness and an absence that has a something. So it's not nothing, it's a nothingness that has a something. And so abiding in absence would be both the contact and realization of that absence quality. And when we realize the absence quality, not only is it that we're in this experience of absence, but also absence is us. We, our sense of self is also dropped away. There's perception, awareness, and there's contact with the absence, but it's an undivided contact. So abiding in absence is really a returning home, a resting in the truth. The reality, the true reality is how it's viewed. So in abiding in absence, conceit humbles. With conceit, it really requires there to be some sense of a self, some sense of a me that has had an experience or attained a certain realization. And so there are certainly teachers you can meet who do have a lot of investment in whatever realization or understanding they have. And if that's so, they're practice to work with. But what it's indicating is that there's still a self functioning and claiming ownership of the particular realization or understanding. So as we're abiding in absence, as absence, there's no place for attainment to land, meaning there's no place to hold it as a badge of honor, to make it something special, to make ourselves something special. So any quality of conceit, any quality of I did this is naturally going to fall away. So this is what I'm pointing to with this line, that all conceit, all sense of me getting something will fall away. We'll be left with humility. And the humility is that we're all lifetime students. There's always more to understand. There's always more to integrate. There's always more personal work to be revealed and resolved. So where is there to feel that I've attained something, I own something, I have something? I'd be more impressed if somebody had a realization of absence and said to me, I have nothing. That would be more in line with the experience rather than I have something. The third line, residing in wisdom. For me, the experience of absence is quite profound and life altering, but it's incomplete if we also don't realize simultaneously or concurrently the manifest absolute, which is the functioning of love, and pure presence. So wisdom is really the unification, the realization of both the absence, the emptiness of any abiding eternal self, combined with the pure love, the unconditioned love that loves everything without measure, without condition. That to me is wisdom, because you have the understanding of true reality and absence, and then you have the true expression of that in the love and the presence. So combining those is wisdom. That's the functioning of the absolute through an individual. And the fourth line, quiet confidence. So the quietness, there doesn't need to be a lot of talk, there doesn't need to be a lot of discussion or concepts. Simply by being quiet, we can feel the profundity of the realization. And that leads to a certain natural confidence, not an overconfidence, but what's true, what's real. Let that land, let it be expressed, let it be owned. There's nothing wrong with that, but it's still never a possession. I never can own any level of realization. It's not mine. It happened in a particular location, and that's the only piece I can say about it. So that's why this is such a great stanza, to tell us that in the fullness of realization of absence and love is wisdom, humility, and yet confidence.